Hello, welcome back. I'm Liz. This is Michael. He's going to be demoing some postures today, or all postures today in this class, and I'll be doing a power vinyasa that is designed to help prepare you for a king pigeon. Now, if this is a posture you are somewhat familiar with or not familiar with at all, don't worry. It's basically going to open up the hips, open up the chest, and get you into a nice spinal extension or a back bending sequence. Feel free to pause, to modify, to rest, to do whatever you need to do during this practice, and I'll give you a lot of things to work with along the way. So let's go ahead and start by getting your props ready. We're going to need 2 blocks today and a strap. Go ahead and make a loop at the end of your strap. So if you have your little buckle here, just make the loop big enough for eventually your foot to fit inside. And once you have this little loop, you can put it to the side. We'll use it later. And then we're going to go ahead and get something ready that is like a cushion or a blanket or something that you're going to want to sit on perhaps in our pigeon pose in the near future. So once you have all those things ready to go, we're going to start on our back. Go ahead and lay all the way down. Plant your feet nice and heavy into the mat here. And then just take your hands down by your sides, palms face the earth. Go ahead and tuck in the shoulder blades and just feel how long the neck can be here. A little tuck to the chin is nice. Now walk your feet about hip distance apart, so just slightly closer together if they're on the wider side, and then walk your feet in so they're close to your hips. From here, we're going to engage a little bit into the feet and inner thighs. Take a nice big inhalation. And on your exhalation, just let the belly sink down in toward that low spine. And we're going to work on getting all the breath out of our lungs. Now with your next inhale, fill just your belly up, then move up to the ribs and finally into the upper chest. Reach the top of that inhale before exhaling, and when you do, exhale from top back down to bottom once again. So get into this rhythm. This is going to be something we'll thread along through the practice, pose to pose, and something to return to every time your mind wanders away into another subject, which sometimes happens a lot, so don't be worried, don't be stressed if you tend to have a hard time focusing. So as we come back to this breath, notice things about it, what it sounds like, what it feels like, how deep it really is, and how much time you're spending on it. And you might find that 1 or 2 of those things are the most obvious things that stand out to you the most. Feel free to let that specific thing, whatever's standing out to you, be that anchor point to return to anytime you need to in this practice. All right, so now we're going to start to stimulate the back of the throat, build some heat in our body. Let's take another inhalation, just like you have been, belly, ribs, and chest. And this time on your exhale, we're going to find some sound in the back of the throat that feels resonating. And if you need to, we're going to open the mouth and sigh out of the mouth. Let's do a couple more like that to get used to it. In the nose, breathe in. Maybe make a little more sound again in the back of the throat, but really amplify as you exhale. Out the mouth if you just want to get used to the feeling. Now on this third one, we're going to do the same thing. So inhale from belly to the top of your chest, making that sound in the back of your throat. And on this exhale, this time close your lips, but sigh out of your nose. Make that same sound if you can. This is your Ujjayi pranayama. It's going to help you build heat. It's going to help you stay focused. Very, very victorious breath. So let's take another inhalation in this simple preparation for our bridge. And as we exhale, really root your feet corners down, and we're going to curl the tailbone up and gently lift the hips off of the ground. Once your hips start to elevate, root your arms a little heavier into the mat, and option to even interlace the fingers underneath your back. Don't worry about getting super high in the pelvis. Just find a nice middle ground that feels comfortable. And we're going to inhale here. So think about lengthening your tailbone forward. And as you exhale, again, engage the feet. The inner thighs are active. We're going to lift the pelvis maybe a little higher, pressing those arms deeper into the mat. And maybe, again, tucking the shoulder blades in underneath you. Let's be here for 2 more nice big breaths. In the nose, out the nose. If you need more help engaging the inner thighs, feel free to place a block in between them. If you're good here, let's be here for another breath. Fully inhaling. Imagine the tailbone lengthening toward the knees. And then one more time, exhale. Not only the hips are going to lift, but maybe your belly, maybe a little in your chest. Go gently. Now let's inhale and slowly lift that tailbone, but lower from your upper back down to the mid-back, and finally the pelvis comes down to the mat. Once you finally make your way down there, let's take an inhalation and reach both of your arms all the way up and overhead. And we're going to go right back to bridge, but as we do, exhale, take your arms back down as your hips lift. So bring hands to the floor, hips toward the sky. We got 3 more like that. So inhale, sweep back, lower 1 vertebra at a time until your hips are back on the floor. And then with your exhale, sweep the fingertips up, kind of painting across the ceiling here as the hips elevate toward it. Awesome. And then 2 more times. Again, challenging the pace of your breath to stay slow and mindful, matching breath to movement. Not the easiest thing, right? Exhale again, palms to mat, hips to ceiling, and maybe broaden through the collarbones a little more. We have 1 more to go. Inhale, curl down, reach up as far back in the arms as you can, and then last time here, exhale, palms sweep forward and down, hips toward the sky. Awesome. Keep the hands down. Inhale, lower the vertebra 1 at a time. Once you're 1 more time on the floor again, we're going to bring both knees and hug them into the chest with your next exhalation. As you hug them in, let your body dictate kind of what you do. So if it feels good to you to go side to side, right, move a little into that low back, mid back, maybe lift up the head or lower the head. Maybe open the knees or keep them closed. We have about 3 breaths here, so let it be very organic. Let it feel nurturing to the lower back. And sometimes we find areas that are tense and aggravated while finding organic movement, which is good. Gets us to get to know our bodies a little bit more. So let's be here for 1 more inhale. With this next exhale, we're going to pull those knees closer and just really empty the belly. Option to lift the head and curl up in the chest. Awesome. From here, let's inhale, shoot the fingertips all the way back, take your toes all the way forward, and just lengthen but hover all 4 limbs off the ground. We're going to engage the core here, and exhale, bring the knees back into the chest, sweeping those arms forward to catch the knees. Awesome. 3 more of those. Inhale as long and lifted and very controlled from the core as you can. Exhale to close the ribs and bring those knees and shins back in. Awesome. 2 more times. Inhale, reaching out. Finding as much space as you can in your body, and then exhale, contracting everything, curling up into a tight little ball. And last time, inhale, reach out nice and long. Always find a little more length in there somewhere. Exhale, bring knees to chest, big squeeze. Great. From here, we're going to rock and roll up and down the spine, or you can always roll to the side if that's too much, and we'll make our way to tabletop position. Please take your time. Knees might take our draw out to side, feet to other side, or just roll over the knees if that feels okay. All right, let's find child's pose. Very simple. So open your knees super wide as you can comfortably. About the width of the mat is a good gauge. And then bring your big toes together. We're going to sit the hips all the way back toward the heels. And then start to reach the arms more forward. Really getting length in your spine. Softening your forehead down. We're not here long, but I want you to feel like your hips are flexing, your inner thighs are stretching a little, and we're able to decompress for a couple breaths. So feeling that inhalation draw in from the low belly and work its way all the way up to the base of your neck and skull. Think shoulders out of ears. Exhale, heavy tailbone and empty belly. Let's just do 1 or 2 more full breaths. Again, trying to find that sound in the back of your throat. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let every breath have its own sound, its own pace. Awesome. Let's finish this next exhale wherever you're at and really close the frontal ribs and hollow the belly. And we're going to press into hands and knees and make our way to tabletop pose here. Walk the knees underneath the hips. And then bring your feet straight back behind the knees. Awesome. Let's inhale, soften the belly, but bring your chest forward into cow pose, looking ahead, shoulders back. And then exhale, push into the hands, round your spine like a turtle or a Halloween cat, right? And let your head relax down. We got a couple more of these to go. So inhale, just think long front line of the body. Exhale, stretching into that back line, that posterior chain. Even the base of your skull is getting a little space. Awesome. 1 more time. Inhale, cow. Feel free to, again, kind of pull the mat back, open through the chest. Exhale, straighten the arms and push the ground firmly away from your body, really spreading those shoulder blades apart. Come back to neutral with a nice big breath in. And we're just going to simply tuck the toes under on your exhale and hover your knees about 2 inches off the floor and squeeze into all your fingertips. Take a moment to make sure the middle fingers are forward and we have a slight internal rotation of the shoulders going on, meaning your inner arms are drawing themselves into a slight rotation toward each other. Then while you're here for 2 more breaths, just feel where the body feels challenged. Start to let the whole entire body help. If you feel all this in your shoulders, start to engage your legs and core a little more. Let them all help here. We got 1 more inhale. Now on the exhale, keep your hands really rooted. Send the hips further back and up into downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet back and forth might feel really nice here. Maybe lifting both heels together and bringing them down together. Let's take about 3 big breaths, just getting used to the shape. Now if you feel like you have a slightly rounded back, I know, Michael, you're wearing all black, so it's kind of hard to see. He has a very flat back here, but some people are kind of rounded. You can kind of feel that roundedness. So just for the first couple moments, you might even bend your knees an inch, lift your tailbone higher, and really get out of any rounded shape here. And then keeping that, feel your legs slowly straighten more and more until you start to notice your back rounding again. We're here for our last exhale. So really take your time emptying the body. Now let's inhale, lift both heels as high as you can. Stretch out the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and then step, walk, or maybe hop your way to the top of the mat. Awesome. Inhale, halfway lift with neutral feet. We want to roll the shoulders back. And then exhale, bend the knees a little and fold. Let your head rest at the bottom. Let's do 2 more like that, getting into the hand knees a little more. Inhale, halfway up. Half of the weight comes forward into the balls of the feet. Exhale, keep that as you fold. And just again, find a long neck. 1 more time. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, full breath. Exhale, Uttanasana. Empty and relax that upper body. Great. Let's push into the feet. Reach for the sky as we come all the way to standing. Inhaling. And then exhale, hands come down to the heart. Let's take 1 Sun A here. So with an inhale, big circle breath. Reach up with the arms. Exhale, bend the knees. Fold forward back to Uttanasana, forward fold. Great. Halfway up with your inhale. Again, check out the neck. Make sure it's long. Plant the hands. Exhale, step right foot back and then left. Or left and right. Let's shift forward. Take about a nice big inhale, couple inches. Exhale, halfway down. Bend the elbows into the sides of your ribs. Stay long. Inhale, maybe drop to the belly for cobra or shift forward into up dog. It depends on your low back. Depends on how you're feeling today. On the big exhalation, let's make our way back to down dog. Pushing straight up if you can. Hips high, head low. And again, just feel. Pedal the feet, readjust the head, the shoulders, until it feels right. We want to have a strong rooted sensation in all the fingertips, especially though the L shape of your hands, your thumb and your index finger. And then find some space in the upper neck and back region. So it feels kind of like you're pulling your shoulder blades apart energetically. Let's be here for 1 more inhale, lifting tall in the hips. Exhale, pushing that ground away from you, reaching the hips back. Okay, inhale, lift both heels high. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, come to the top of your mat. Halfway lift on that inhale. Exhale, fold. Pushing down with those feet, rise on an inhalation, nice and slowly here. Exhale, hands back to the heart. We're going to go right to Sun B. So inhale, sit back into your chair. Lead with the tailbone, lower a little bit, sweep the arms forward. We want to make sure the toes are visible, so look down for a moment. If not, just draw the shins back a little. Awesome. Then find a long neckline, an open chest, and a very long low back. Sometimes we stick the tailbone back here. We want to point the tailbone down more so. We're here for 2 more breaths. Slow in. On the exhale, maybe sit a little further back into those the tailbone, but also the heels. 1 more time. In the nose. With this exhale, big forward fold. Release the head, release the hands. Awesome halfway lift as you inhale. Hands down, step the opposite foot back first, or if you don't know which one that was, it's all good, doesn't matter. Come to plank, inhale, shift forward 3 to 4 inches. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga, strong elbows in the body. Inhale, come forward, up dog, maybe we lift our thighs here, or cobra, back to the belly with bent elbows. And then exhale, downward dog. Awesome. Find a breath or two. We're going to start to slowly build the heat a little more, and that way we can go a little bit faster with our postures here. But always breath to movement. We got one more inhale to go. One big exhale. All right, inhale. Let's slowly pick up the right leg. Just sweep it back. Don't worry about how high it goes. Get long here. Exhale the right knee to the left elbow. So cross it underneath you. Engage the obliques. Inhale, take that leg back again. Inhale. Exhale to the right elbow. So out wide here. Awesome. Inhale, send the leg back. Keep it up there. We're going to bend the knee and gently open up the hip. And something huge. We're just trying to elevate that right thigh without lifting that right shoulder too much. Feel free to make some circles in the hip. Maybe rotate the ankle, point and flex, right? Open and close the toes. Any of that stuff is great. We're here for one more nice big breath. With your exhale, slowly take that right knee forward to the nose and then step near your right thumb. Pausing here, back foot's going to stay on the toes today for a crescent lunge, so feel free to walk the feet more hip distance. Hands might come to hips, or they might just reach all the way forward or back as we rise with a very flat back here. Once you're elevated in your crescent, take a moment to micro bend the back knee or deeply bend it for a second and think about how long your tailbone is. Make sure it's pointing down to the ground. Your belly button's pulling up slightly. Keeping that pelvic neutrality, just try to straighten that back leg another millimeter and really feel that in your left hip. So from here, we want to keep right knee above ankle, all the toes pointing forward, and a lot of energy rising here in the chest, the fingers, the top of your head. So just for 2 more breaths, we're holding, breathing in. Option to sit kind of heavier in the pelvic floor as you exhale, like you're sitting in a chair. One more time, full breath, reaching tall. On this exhale, take your hands back down, chaturanga. You might lift the right leg into 3-legged if you have the urge to do so. If we're feeling a little weaker in the shoulders, we're building strength, right? Don't worry about any of that more advanced variations here. Inhale, up dog or cobra, long low back. Exhale, back to down dog, but use your low belly to get there. Awesome, take a nice big breath here. Settle into your body. Exhale completely out. We're gonna go directly to the left side. So inhale, sweep left leg back. Again, don't worry about the height, just go for length. Hold on the exhale, take one more breath here. And on your next exhale, left knee to right elbow, crossing it under, strong core. We're taking that left leg back again, big breath, maybe a little higher. Exhale to the left elbow, so same side, a little bit of an open hip. Great, take the leg back. Speaking of open hip, let's bend the knee up there in the sky and start to open up here, just a little bit, nothing crazy. Circles are awesome, right? Just think from the hip joint. That big ball and socket joint, which likes to move in a circular way. Maybe your ankle wants to move here. We got one more inhale. Exhale slowly, left knee to the nose, and we're stepping lightly near that left thumb. Align the feet hip distance, so railroad track the feet. Firm legs, really root into the front foot, and we're going to rise with a flat back, nice and slowly to standing crescent here. Good, and then adjust, right? Sometimes we rise and we need to move a little bit to feel more balanced, feel more stable. Once you feel that way, put a little bend in the back knee. We're just going to do this and dial in deeper on this first one. And point your tailbone downward as your chest lifts upward. Keeping that nice long neutral spine, we're now going to straighten that back leg another inch or less. Awesome. 2 more slow breaths here. And we're reaching, right? But our shoulders are also coming down. We're finding some space in the sides of your neck. It's a lot of lifting and a lot of lowering. So find that nice balance between. Last inhale to go. With your own exhale, take the hands down, frame the foot, step left foot back for chaturanga with or without a lifted leg. You are always welcome to throw that in. Just go slowly. Inhaling cobra or up dog. Again, lifting the thighs if you have straight arms today. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, couple breaths. We're closing up this whole little sun V, and we're going to add on one more time. In the nose. Out the nose. Awesome. Pick up both of your heels with your inhale. Get real high in the tailbone. Exhale, bend the knees, step, walk, or hop, and look forward. Feet together, halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Prepare to sit back into chair pose. So heavy tailbone, heavy heels, and then float those light fingertips up in front of you if you can. Great, couple breaths here. Think long neckline, even the back of your neck. Think long low back, tailbone anchoring down. And then last inhale to go, long sides of the body, reaching. And then we're going right back down. Yep, forward fold on your exhale. Halfway rise on your inhalation. And again, step back, maybe float back if you're feeling it. Just make sure we land softly, right? Hinge forward, exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, heart shines through the arms, shoulders draw back. And then big exhale, downward dog. This time, just one nice big inhale. Settling into both heels, both hands, heavy head. Inhale, right leg's gonna lift. Exhale, cross it under to the left elbow, strong low belly. Inhale, take right leg back. Over to the right elbow, bring the knee. Great, come forward and then inhale back. We're bending the knee again, opening up the hip, and then really lifting your tailbone high, lifting that right foot high, and maybe just holding for one more breath. Exhale, right knee to nose. Again, step near the right thumb, preparing for high crescent. We've been here before. So same alignment with the feet, rising on the inhale. Maybe find that little bent knee and do all of that again if you want to. I always do. It helps me dial in nicely. So this time we're going to take a nice slow breath and just hold that length. On the exhalation, this time take all 10 fingers to your upper back. So as you come here to the upper back, your palms might have to touch. That's totally fine. You can find prayer hands behind the neck or flatten your hands onto your shoulder blades. Let this be tight if it's a little tight, no stress. Just a couple breaths. So worry about really breathing deeply. Don't worry about getting deep, right? And then exhale, sit maybe a little heavier in the hips. One more time if you can. Lift the elbows a little higher. Lengthen the chest upwards, and then exhale, crawl the fingers down the back a little bit more. Awesome. Inhale, slow sweep of all the fingers up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Now this time, stay right here. Your left hand stays on the ground. Maybe put a block under that hand. I always recommend that. Just a little lift. Right hand goes to the right hip. And then lengthen everything from your back heel to the crown of your head. Just pull that string really long. Exhale, rotate your heart open to the right. Now when you rotate, your right shoulder's lifting, but your arm isn't pulling you. It's really your heart space that's rotating your body. And we're here for a couple breaths, checking in with that back leg. Make sure it's real active and long. Exhale to again rotate maybe another hair as the belly engages and empties. One last breath to go. Big exhale to rotate if possible. All right, we're keeping that one mellow. We're going to come back though. Hands to the mat, move that block to side, and then step your right foot back into your vinyasa. Again, elbows in. Inhaling, upward dog, pressing into the tops of those feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Being here for one breath. Exhaling all of it out. Listen to the sound of the exhale. And then pick up that left leg with your next inhale, nice and long here. Exhale across the body, left knee to right elbow, strong core. Inhale, sweep it back. This time to the left outer arm. Yeah, a little open hip, great. And then send it back, stay up there, bend the knee, and start to open up the hip just a little bit. This time for just one breath. If you want to move or be still, just make sure it feels good. Next exhalation, we're going to take that left knee forward to the nose, stepping lightly near the left thumb. Prepare for crescent, find those feet. Inhale to rise up. Get into your crescent for a couple breaths first. Just feel where your feet should be. Make sure they feel really sturdy. Otherwise, adding on is just going to be that much harder. We don't want that. So get grounded, and once you're here, start to slowly take fingertips as high, or I should say as low, down that spine as you can. And as we elevate the elbows and the chest with every inhale, we might come into a slight back bend. We'll get there eventually. For now, just think tall. And exhale, crawl the fingers even lower down your back. Just see how far you can go. Last two breaths holding here. Making sure that the left toes, the left knee is tracking forward. And we're feeling that length in the right leg still. Last inhale to go. Every exhale, maybe those fingers crawl down a little more. Maybe we sit heavier in our hips. And we're going to take both arms and reach up slowly with your inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, staying there for a moment. Bring right block underneath the right hand. Awesome. Left hand to left hip. First, find length from your heel to the crown. Breathe in to create that space. Exhale, rotate your heart open to the left. Again, it's just your heart rotating. It's not your arm pulling you. So we'll add on, but for now, this simple variation is quite powerful on its own, so just be here for 2 more breaths. Practice putting more strength in the legs, less in that bottom hand. More space in the neck. And if you do want to look up, you're more than welcome to. You might also enjoy looking to the side or looking down. We got 1 more inhale to go. Exhale to stay through the rotation, maybe deepen it and empty the whole belly. Awesome. Inhale, unravel, get rid of that block just to the side a little. Step the left foot back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling, upward dog. Maybe cobra, right? It's always an option. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, little adjustment since you've been working hard. So we have a couple full breaths in the nose. Out the nose, if you need to rest, right? Child's pose is always there for you. At least 1 more here. Big breath out. Okay, inhale, lift the heels high. Exhale, bend the knees, step, walk, or hop, top of the mat. Prepare the feet, then rise halfway, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. We're going to sit back into chair pose, this time for just 1 inhale. So really go for it, but make sure the toes are visible. And then exhale right back down into your forward fold. Let the head just relax. Halfway up, take a breath. Hands down, step back, maybe float back, chaturanga, or skip, right? Modify, do whatever you got to do. I'll drop on my knees halfway through class sometimes. Nothing wrong with that. Exhale, hips high, downward dog. Good. Now this time go right to that right side. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, right knee left. Awesome. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, right knee right. Inhale, sweep it back. Bend the knee, open up the hips. Exhale. Inhale here and prepare to bring that knee forward into low lunge. Stepping your right thumb. Awesome. Inhale, rise up high crescent. Exhale, take hands to the upper back, elbows nice and pointy, reach them up. Now this time adding on just a little bit, it might not feel like much, but we're gonna inhale, send the chest higher, elbows higher. Exhale, crawl the fingers down the back and maybe lean back a little. Now you don't have to look up, but I want you to really elevate your chest. Don't crunch the low back, but do sit your hips nice and low as that chest is rising. So again, you're lengthening from 2 directions. 1 more inhale to go. 1 more exhale out. Inhale, take both arms all the way back up. This time, hands to heart center. Hinge forward with the flat back. We're going to cross over to the right side for a nice revolved side angle. So take left elbow to right thigh. If this is too much, left hand to ground like we did before. And this time, maybe the right arm to sky. If you have your prayer hands and you're feeling good, again, long back leg here, big breath. Push your top hand into the bottom hand to rotate from that correct space and maybe even decide to open up your arms. Awesome. We're here for another deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Feel the whole belly empty. Coming back to crescent with your inhale, no rush whatsoever. Now find warrior 2. Lower your back heel. Find heel to arch alignment with your feet. So a little trick is just think both feet in the center of the mat and you're good to go. Point the right toes forward and pull your left heel as far back comfortably as you can so you get this nice length down that inner leg. Stacking shoulders right over the hips. Inhaling for that length in the side waist but also the neck. We reach out like we're shooting little laser beams out of our fingers, right? Very active hands. So just a couple more breaths here. Really trying to find a sense of comfort in a way in the seat even though you feel challenged. And you find a good home base, a place just to land. 1 more inhale fully. 1 more exhale to sit into the pose. Keep your legs exactly the same. Inhale, shift forward, hinging from the hip crease. Now stay here and look back to that left hand. Just hold. Keep that right inner thigh open. Take an inhale here. Now lightly placing right thigh down, right forearm down onto the right thigh. Left arm up toward the sky for side angle. Great. So again, light weight in that right arm. It's so easy to kind of dump all that upper body weight, but let's lift out of that like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Feel free to stay here or big circle reaching back to the side and all the way forward. Perfect for that nice extension. Awesome. 2 to 3 more breaths here. Inhaling for length. Exhaling to rotate from that heart space, almost like you're coming into a twist. And you might even look upwards. Last breath or 2. Big breath out. Awesome. Closing those ribs up. Last breath to go if you can. Exhale completely out. We're going to keep the legs exactly as they are. Inhale, push into the feet. Rise up to reverse warrior. Take right side up. Binding your left hand behind your back if you prefer, or sliding the hand down the back leg. Now, speaking of that back leg, can you get it so straight it cannot straighten anymore? Every inhale, you are lifting from that side rib. Every exhale, you're kind of leaning back a little. You're deepening that side bend. One more inhale to go. On your next breath out, take both hands all the way down to the mat. Pause in a low lunge. Come onto your back toes once again. Left hand to floor, maybe on a block. On the exhale, open your heart to the right one more time, coming into a twist. Awesome. From here, be super mindful of your knees and your hips. We're going to try to come onto the outer edges of both of our feet. So we're opening up the big toe side of each foot. Yep. This alone is interesting, right? So keep your hips lifted. Don't sink down too much, but try to, again, find that rotation. We're here for one more breath. Now, roll as far as you can on the pinky toe side. We're going to try to step the front foot back to meet the back foot into a side plank. Vashisthasana. Step, drag, heel, toe that foot. Doesn't matter. Awesome. And then lift out of the ground. Make sure that your bottom wrist is right underneath the bridge of your nose. So if you need to step up the hand a little, you can. Feel free to stagger the feet. Awesome. We're here for one more inhale. One more exhale. Start to prepare for plank. So take right hand back to the ground. Find your feet, find your hands, hinge forward, and then exhale chaturanga or rest. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. And if you want to take a little breather in child's pose, please feel free. Give yourself some time to settle. Inhale, exhale. Good. We're good to go, I guess. We got one more breath in. One more breath out. If you need more time, just pause the video, no problem. All right, left leg's going to lift here. So big breath, reach with the heel. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Really draw it up and in. Awesome. Inhale, extend the leg back. Lengthen. Exhale to the left outer arm, coming forward. Awesome. Inhale, back we go. Bend the knee in the sky, open the hip, just for a breath. And then with your exhale, left knee to nose, step near the left thumb. Rising into high crescent, get your feet ready. Reach all the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, take your fingers to your upper back. Elbows are nice and pointy, right? They're lifting, but your shoulders are dropping. There's a little tug of war going on here. Just a couple more breaths to go. So in the nose, lift from the sternum like you're touching the ceiling with it. Exhale, lean back a little bit, but be mindful of your low back, right? Keep that spacious, keep that happy. One more breath to go. Big exhale. Keeping the hips low, reach up for the ceiling. Take a nice deep inhalation here. Awesome. On the exhalation, we're going to take our time coming forward, hands to heart, long spine, and then twisting to the left. So take right elbow across. Cool. Firm into that back leg again. Lengthen through the neck. And then each exhale, we might be pushing that top hand into the bottom hand, which gives you a really nice rotation point. If you want to modify, right hand to floor or block, left arm to sky. To go deeper, open both arms. We're here for 2 more breaths. Looking up is an option. You can also look down, especially if you have a sore neck today. One more time, big breath in. Exhale, heart opens, empty belly. Really nice. Bring both hands down just for a moment to center, and then we're rising right back up to crescent, so no rush. Find your feet, come all the way up. Warrior 2 is our exhale. So as we open to that left side, we can make sure both feet are in the center of the mat, and then you're usually good to go. Left toes forward, right heel drawing back. And then just think, where are my shoulders? Can I stack them right above my hip bones? Elevating the top of your head up, but sitting into a chair, imaginary chair. Just 3 more breaths to go. Just feeling that nice space right in the middle, between upward and downward, between forward and backward. Feeling nice and sturdy here in our seat. One last inhale, full breath. Looking great. Big exhale, draw the ribs in, empty the belly. Keep your legs exactly the same. Hinge slowly forward. Keep your waistline super long, but stay here. And exhale, look back past the right hand, the back hand. Just gaze past it. Awesome. Inhale, lengthen a little more. This time, very lightly, forearm to thigh. Not collapsing, right? Elevating. And then decide if you want to reach right arm up, whatever you did on the other side. I don't remember what we did. What did we do? We reached up. That's perfect. All right, so really find that space between the back heel all the way up to the crown of the head, like a long line of energy. And then decide if you want to exactly find a big circle in that arm and reach forward to increase that length a little bit. Only 300 more breaths. Doing awesome. So find length in the neck. Exhale, close those ribs. Just think, how straight can my spine be here? 2 more to go. Good. Shoulders draw down if they need to. Maybe look down if you need 1 more breath. Exhale completely. Now don't change your legs at all. We're going to push into the feet. Inhale, rise up, reverse warrior. Left side lifts here. Back hand maybe binds, or it goes down that straight back leg and really straighten that leg like crazy. We have 2 more breaths. Inhale, tall side ribs. Exhale, leaning back into more of a side bend, not a back bend. 1 last breath to go. On this exhale, slowly cartwheel both of the arms down, but pause in low lunge, coming onto your back toes, and just square the hips forward again. Take a second here. Big inhale, right wrist under shoulder. Exhale, start to come onto the outer edges of both of your feet. Go gently, go gently. Let's take that left arm, begin to reach it upwards toward the sky. So you are in a twist, and we're going easy here. We're not coming all the way to the edges completely, just starting to. Feel the knees and hips. If you're given the green light, we're going to go a little deeper. So again, squeeze those right fingers. Maybe step your right hand a little more forward, like 3 inches. Yay. And then maybe step top foot or drag it or heel toe it all the way to the back foot. Perfect. Stacking feet, hips, shoulders, ears, all of it. Reaching tall to the sky. Full breath. Hips high like a rainbow. Exhale 2 more times if you can and draw the belly in. Yeah, stagger the feet. Drop a knee if you need to, guys. 1 more breath in. Stay through the exhale. I know we want to leave now. Let's inhale, bring left hand down to plank pose. Prepare for chaturanga or modify or skip, right? Exhale, halfway down. Great. Inhale, cobra, up dog, whatever works. Long, lengthen that back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Awesome job. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Let's come down to the knees for just a moment. Bring your knees all the way together, feet all the way together, and then sit back over your heels and maybe just round forward into embryo pose for a couple breaths or come to a seat. I'm going to leave that entirely up to you for this moment for about 3 to 4 breaths. The slower you breathe, the longer you get to be here. Try to breathe into every little crevice of your lungs, from the base of the hips to the top of the shoulders. Awesome. Each exhale, just pulling the weight of your hips back a little bit. I'm just thinking, like, what else can I relax while I'm here? Let's do 1 more slow breath. Big exhale. Okay, pressing up into tabletop position. Any movements you want to make real quick in your spine, I love to give you a little bit of time, right? Cat and cow, sway the hips. Like, let your body dictate the next little micro shake that we do for a breath or 2. Let it all go. Okay, then let's make our way to down dog. Spread all the fingers. Again, strong arms, open chest, and then float the hips up. Being here for a nice big breath in the nose. Out the nose. Let's pick up the right leg once again. Inhale, lengthen it. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. This time we're going to stay to the left and straighten that leg all the way out to that left side. Come onto the pinky toe edge of that right foot and the big toe edge of the left foot. So spin the inner arch down. Perfect. Spread into all the right fingers. Exhale, open your chest. Take the left arm up into falling star. You can stay here. You can drop the hips down, rest, modify, or try to pick up that right leg. No pressure. 1 breath here. On the exhale, let's take left hand slowly down. Inhale, bend the right knee, sweep it back behind you, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to outer right arm. If you have hurdlers in your practice or a little moment of just a balance or just want to hover, do that, no worries. We're taking that leg back when you're ready. Inhale, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and then keep the hip real open if you can. Lift the knee higher, lift out of your low back, and then see if it's possible to come onto the outer edge of your left foot, the one you're grounded on. Spread the left fingers and maybe come onto the right tips, right little tips of the fingers. Good. For a moment, your right leg and your right arm are in space, and maybe we're going to drop that right foot behind you and flip the dog. No pressure. It sometimes feels easier than it looks for some. We'll see. Lift high out of the floor. Shoulders out of ears. Maybe look up at the hand if you want to take it to the next level. Last breath here, guys. No rush at all. We're coming back around. So right hand to floor, right leg to sky. Inhale all the way. Exhale, step your foot into low lunge. Rising slowly into high lunge. Deep breath here. Hands to the upper back. Really give yourself a nice connection here. Fingertips to shoulder blades. Awesome. And just being here for a couple breaths again. So lifting the chest, inhale. Crawl the fingers down your back and maybe lean back just a little bit. Making sure that low back feels safe and happy. One more inhale to go. One more exhale. Stay through the pose. Empty out your whole belly. We're going to reach up real tall. Come out of that back bend. Lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart, hinge forward, this time pausing as you hover over that front thigh, looking to the ground in front of you a couple feet. Push into that right foot like a lot here. As you engage that right side of the leg, the glute, the foot, we're going to lift the left foot exactly into warrior three. Now just being here for a couple breaths, you want to pull that left heel back and pull your chest forward, keeping that left hip square to the ground. Maybe take the arms and reach them forward if you want to. We're here for one more slow breath in. One more slow breath out. Preparing a block right diagonal to the right pinky toe, maybe on the high or medium setting. Go ahead and bring just your right hand down onto that block. Move it around if you need to. Left hand comes to the left hip. Begin to open your hips to the left. Yes, and then point those left toes to the left as well. Keeping length through the heels, stretching back, your crown is going forward. Once you're stacked in the joints, maybe take left arm up into your half moon. So your bottom toes are still pointing forward along with the knee. If you want to take it up a notch, we take that right hand, we bring it up to the heart. There's no pressure. Falling is an amazing part of this practice, so feel free to fall all you want. No one's judging. We got one more breath. Exhale everything out, yes. And then stepping back to warrior two. Awesome. Right toes are forward. Pausing here and just feeling that alignment. Letting it be a whole new pose, even though we've been here before. In fact, it might be a little deeper now. Last breath to go. Exhale, settle here. Awesome. Inhale, shift forward, lengthen. Exhale, side angle. Feel free to go for a slightly deeper expression. This could be right hand inside the shin, could be hand to floor, but it's not the point of the pose, right? Block under hand is even better for most here. Couple breaths, and then we'll never do this pose again on this side today. Big circle reaching long in front of you. Find that space in the neck and also the waist. Awesome. Last breath to go. Big exhale. Strong legs, keep them the same. Push into those feet, rise up, reverse warrior. Reaching for that sky with the right side of the ribs. And then exhale, take both hands down to the mat. Pausing here, come onto your back toes. And then one more time, rotating, but make sure that your left palm is flat. Your wrist is just under like the bridge of your nose. Yep, open the heart to the right. Come onto the outer edges of both feet. And then just without thinking too much, step right foot back to meet the left. Vashisthasana, nice, lift the hips. Big inhale to go. Big exhale. If you want one more chance to flip your dog, take your top foot, bend the knee, lift it, and then step back. Step back. Yeah, there you go. Lift through the heart, open up. Really nice, big full breath here. We'll make our way to Vinyasa when you're ready. Take the right hand slowly down. You can keep that leg up if you want. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, big breath here. Last side, and then we're going to stretch it out. Inhale, slowly lift that left leg. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Stay to the right. Kick that leg out. Coming onto the pinky toe edge. Perfect. Lower the inner arch of your back foot and spread those left fingers into the ground. Yep, we're opening the heart to the right this time for falling star. Try to really get those hips high, both legs pretty straight, and elevating yourself. Deciding if you want to look up. If you don't, no worries. Try if you can to even lift this left foot off the ground if you did it on the other side. Last full breath. When it feels right, right hand comes down. Inhale, send left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left outer arm. If you do have hurdlers or any kind of arm balance, or you just want to hover or lizard or something for a second, do it. Perfect. And then inhale, send your left leg back. Bend the knee here, open up the hips, lift your thigh up and out of that low back. So slowly, come onto the outer edge of the right foot, spread the right fingers, and then just on the tips of the left fingers. Yep, hover in space. We drop the foot when you're ready. Perfect. Once that foot comes to the floor, try to lift that left heel so you're just on the tippy toes here, and we're going to reach that heart space up, top arm overhead, maybe even look up. Awesome. Squeeze those bottom fingers. We got one more breath here. Whenever it feels right, make your way back to your three-legged dog. Left leg high. Awesome job. Take knee forward, step near the left thumb. Rising to crescent. Nice full breath, arms up. Preparing to take your hands to the upper back. One last time here. Walk the fingers lower. Take the elbows higher, right? And then every exhale, maybe lean a little back. You don't have to look up, right? Couple more breaths. Keeping space in that low back. Keeping your awareness on your feet. One more to go. Try to sit into the pose, but again, lift the chest. As we inhale, come out of that back bend, reach tall through all 10 fingers. Exhale, hands to heart, hinge forward, but this time just hover here with a flat back, square hips and shoulders. Really activate the front foot, so much that that whole left leg is on fire. Now let that activity actually pick up your back foot. So much awareness in that front foot, the back foot just starts to lift. And that takes a little practice sometimes. So once you have your balance in Warrior 3, kick the back heel back, your chest forward, and maybe reach forward with your arms. Only one more breath. Big exhale, preparing for a block just to that diagonal side of your left pinky toe. We're going to lower just the left hand to the block and the right hand to the right hip. Awesome. Once you're here, make sure that wrist is underneath the shoulder. Everything feels good and groovy. And then start to open up the hip bones to face the right a little bit more. Flexing this back foot, yes, and then kicking your heels straight back. If you can, we're reaching right arm high and finding our half moon. Awesome. Just think north, south, east, west, just reaching long in every direction. One more breath to go. If you want to try to bring your hand to your heart, that bottom hand, you're more than welcome to. We're going to land in Warrior 2, so bend that standing leg, trust the mat's going to catch you here, and then float the arms out, capital T. Awesome. Find your legs, find your chest, let everything align itself. Exhale, sit heavy in the pose. One more time, in the nose, out the nose. Staying here, hinge forward, stay long in the waist. Softly place forearm down or arm inside the shin, maybe hand to block. Just taking it up another notch if that feels natural to you. Right arm lifts, and maybe it binds, and maybe it reaches forward. And either way, we're finding some space that feels good. So if it doesn't feel good, we want to find something different, right? 2 more breaths to go. Exhale, closing up those ribs. Feeling everything neutralize really long. One more to go. Here in the nose. Out the nose. Strong feet, keep the legs the same. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Take that left side high. Firm that back leg real straight. And then exhale, lean back. Yes, awesome. One more time. Full breath, keeping that front knee open. Exhale, slowly cartwheel the arms, but slowly find that low lunge and pause there. Come onto your back toes. Whew, find an inhale. Find an exhale as you open your heart to the left, coming into that little twist again. Make sure that your right hand is rooted, wrist is under shoulder, or even a little up higher, right bridge and nose. And then come onto the outer edge of both of your feet. Step, walk, or hop. Don't hop. Heel toe. Hopping would be crazy. Take that left foot back to that side plank. Awesome. Hips high. Lengthening the waistline. Staying here or picking up the top leg a couple inches, bending the knee, drawing the foot back and dropping it onto the floor. It's kind of a slightly easier way to get into that flip dog or that wild thing. Awesome. One more inhale to go. Exhale, no rush. We make our way back through our vinyasa. For you, a vinyasa might be a child's pose, and it's all good. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you can, downward dog. Take a couple breaths there. If you've been doing this a while, this can really feel like a resting pose. Sometimes not so much. So honor what you're feeling. Good. One more inhale. One more exhale. All right. Okay, so from here, we're going to inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, keep it simple. Let's go to pigeon. Take that knee forward. Now with pigeon, we're going to land the knee just outside your right pinky finger. Okay, so it's not in line with the wrist, it's just outside of it. Now point those right toes and have a diagonal shin, just to start. Keep in mind that left leg might start to wander to the side, so maybe look back and make sure the leg is on the mat, it's nice and long. Now I'm going to place a bolster under my right glute because it just helps with balance, it helps with the alignment of the pelvis. It's just good all around for everyone, doesn't matter how new or advanced they are. So try to make sure that your pelvic floor feels level to the ground and that your hip bones are pointing forward. Those are probably two of the most important cues I could give you here. Is just feel that first. So yeah, hands to hips, fantastic here. Just think, where are my hips right now? Now that they're forward, hands back to the ground again. And then again, inhale, find that space in the chest. Lift out of the floor a little. Shoulders are down. Exhale everything out. So there's a few options for pigeon. This variation, you almost have to be in a back bend when you're elevated. If you do want to fold forward, let's give ourselves a little bit of time for that. So with your next exhale, lift the chin, look ahead, and crawl your fingers out in front of you. So that way you're maintaining all this length as you fold. You can place something under your forehead like a block, maybe something higher, lower, hands, right? Whatever works. But make sure there's no pain in the knee. Now, if there is pain in the knee, you can always come to the back and find figure four, so crossing right foot over the left, and that's a great variation. For here, if you're good in this pose, try to marinate for just a little while. Breathing into the low belly, inner thighs, hips. Exhale and just relax deeper. Good. I'm not going to press on you here. But think about just, again, realigning the pelvis very forward, letting the shoulders relax. And if anything's coming down very heavy toward the ground, it's like the belly. Let the belly relax. Keep the chest forward, if you will. Awesome. So you're going to get to a point in this pose where you're feeling very ready to start elevating yourself back up or to come completely out of the pose. And if so, please feel free. You don't have to take this any deeper, right? This alone is quite deep, but hopefully you are warm enough if you've done all the stuff before, you're ready for this. So the only part of the body I would say to really watch out for if it's talking to you is the knee. If the right knee is good, you're probably just fine here. So from here, we're going to push into the hands and walk them back step by step toward the hips until we're tall again. And this is, again, a great time to put something underneath that glute. So if you're not quite wanting that, but you want to go deeper, I highly recommend just grabbing a pillow, right? Putting it right under that. So from here, we're going to just go ahead, bend that back knee. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to try to get your foot to the ceiling. Just bend the knee as much as you can. This is where it's very helpful to have someone else in the room to do this for you, right? So if you are doing this alone, no worries. You can take your right hand and left hand, and you would take this strap and try to loop it around your foot. But I'm going to help because I'm here. So if you want to prepare yourself better than this, you can even start from your downward dog with that strap on your foot, and then we'll go from there. So from here, we're going to slowly bring more slack onto that strap. So you're going to slide your hand down it. And we don't want to have this knee stick out to the left, so we always want to draw it back in. Okay, cool. So as your foot starts to lift a little, we're going to take this left arm high overhead and try to relax that strap over the shoulder a little bit. From here, looking forward, option to lift both arms up toward the ceiling. If you can reach both arms up, awesome. If this is too much, drop the arms, right? Support yourself. If you can, take both hands to your upper back and start to now walk your hands down that strap, exactly. So pointing the toes, I want you to stop when your body says, oh my God, stop, right? When you find your edge, you're perfect there. Big breath here in the nose. Exhale, keeping space in that low back, breathing out. Awesome. Just a couple more if you can. Please come out when you're feeling ready, all right? And when we do, all we're going to do is slide the hands off of the strap, let the foot gently come back down, and take your hands down to the mat. Now from here, all we're going to do is ground the palms. I'm going to move this bolster. Now a sweet, simple way to come out of this is slide your right leg back to tabletop. Just both knees on the ground. Awesome. Sway your hips side to side a little bit. Feel the hips. Feel everything. Maybe cat and cow your spine a couple times. How'd that feel?
Awesome.
Okay, good. Yay. Good. Awesome. Just a couple breaths here. And of course, take a moment and rest in between. Child's pose is always great for that, a seated pose. If you feel ready to do the other side, we're going to find down dog. So take an inhale, spread the fingers. Exhale, hips up. Pedal out those feet again. Just feel right side, feel left side. And then inhale, left leg up this time. If you want to prepare the strap around the right foot, you might do that now. And then exhale, left knee comes forward, landing the knee and shin onto the ground. Think knee again, outside the pinky finger, not just behind the wrist. Okay, point left toes down, diagonal here, perfect. Right leg is long behind you, and I'm gonna slide a bolster under the glute here, just to feel stable, right? It's not about getting to the floor. We don't want wonky hips, right? We want very level hips. So now all that matters, right, is where are my hip bones? How is my low back? And really, how is my left knee? If all these things are feeling good, you got the green light, we're gonna walk the hands forward, but keep that chin up as you do so we find space as we hinge. Cool. And then settling in, allow the side to feel different, right? We got two different sides, two different personalities, two different injuries perhaps, or states. So if you can be here for about 5 whole breaths minimum, slow them down. If you need to come onto your back instead, at this time it's left foot crosses over the right for figure 4 and just pull the legs in on your back. Since you're here, you're feeling good, hips are square, shoulders are relaxed. And just think every exhale, my belly is going to get heavier to the ground. Every inhale, maybe my chest is going to float a millimeter forward. And I'm creating more and more length while I'm here. Good. So feel marinated. You don't want to rush into any of this stuff, especially. All the flow, all the work you've done in this class so far has led you to this point. And it's gotten you prepared to do stuff like this as long as your body is giving you the okay. So when you feel ready to come out and go a little deeper, perhaps we're going to push into the hands, walk back step by step, little steps. Get tall again, readjust the pelvis, make sure it's forward, make sure it's nice and rooted. Okay, back leg is active, back leg is straight. I'm going to place the strap around his right foot, and then he'll reach back for the strap. Now again, just let the strap just kind of relax around the shoulder. Take a moment, readjust the hips again. You might have to do that 15 more times, no worries. This knee sometimes sticks out, so we want to make sure it's trying to wrap in, okay? So from here, we're not going too far. We're going to reach both arms up as tall as you can and just lengthen your low belly, lengthen your low back, reach. Then, yep, both hands to the strap and walk them slowly down the strap. This is very hard to do without sitting on a bolster, by the way. It's quite a balance challenge. So we want to focus more on the alignment and making sure it feels good than trying to make it fancy, right? So inhale, chest is open, chest is tall. Exhale, we're walking those hands down as much as we can. And we are stopping when we can't go any further. If you got this for 2 more breaths. Good. 1 more to go. Come out early if you need to. Big breath out. Awesome job. Okay, start to release. Just let the strap be soft, right? Let the foot softly relax down. Slide the hands off of it. Whew, great job. Take your hands to the ground. Move that bolster and then just simply slide the front knee back to tabletop pose. Super easy transition. Nothing fancy there, but it's so nice for your hips to recover. So let the hips move a little bit. Side to side, circles, cat and cow. Figure we could end with a nice long puppy dog here. So hips are tall above the knees. Make sure we have that alignment, maybe a little closer together. And then walk both of the arms forward, keeping your hips really tall. Now in puppy pose, it's very much like down dog. I find it to be a little more intense. Some people find it less. But this creates a really deep extension of the spine and a flexion of the shoulders and hips. So fully breathe into the tight spaces you're feeling. If you are more advanced, you might bring your chin or mouth to the ground. Otherwise, forehead down is just perfect. Cool. If you can, 3 more slow breaths. Let the belly move down on the inhale and then up on the exhale. Breathing deep into the arms, the pecs, the shoulder joints. One more time here. Big breath out. Awesome. Push into the hands, slowly walk them back. And we'll start to cool down now. From tabletop, make your way to a seated position. You can take your feet out to a side. You can also cross at your shins and sit back. So it really depends on you and what you like to do. Take both of your legs forward. Heels reach out in front of you, toes draw back a little bit. And then you might sit on something elevating like a pillow or a blanket if you want to, but really try to find a rooted sitting bone space. So I even reach under myself and like pull the flesh out that I'm sitting on and really root down. Now from there, inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Think about lifting your chin even a little bit, and then exhale, reaching forward, not with your arms so much, but with your heart. Arms almost don't care where you go. Drop the hands wherever. Keep the shoulders back. Try to grab something. Maybe it's your leg. Maybe it's your holding onto a strap. Placing that around the balls of the feet. Or grabbing toes if you can. And then breathing deeply here to lengthen and maybe lift a few inches out of that low back. Exhale to relax. And then for some, this is such a tight posture that just hands on the floor and lifting tall in your chest is plenty. So meet yourself where you're at. Good. Let's take about 3 more here. Really stretching out the muscles that are sometimes the most stubborn to stretch out. Hamstrings are definitely included in that list. One more time in the nose, out the nose. The back of the heart is going to pull you all the way up to the ceiling, nice and slowly with your inhale. Awesome. Bring your hands to the ground, exhale out. Let's bend into the right knee only and slide that right foot in towards your sitting bone. Just kind of hold onto that leg tightly. Perfect. Yep, knee pointing up. Now flatten out your back. Lift your chest real tall. Hold and squeeze that knee. And then we're going to exhale here and empty the belly. Just again, getting really tall. You can stay right here. You can also cross your right foot over the left thigh and plant the sole of the foot flat. And same kind of idea. Inhale, flatten the back. Now last option you can take is to bend also the left knee and sliding the left foot in toward the right hip. If that makes your left hip lift or right hip lift weird, we don't want that. We want level hips. So you can always straighten that leg back out. Okay, from here, holding onto that leg with your right hand, take your left arm and reach it way up. On the exhale, open the heart to the right. Try to cross your arm over that right leg. If you want to grab the kneecap with your left hand, you can, right? If you want to wrap your forearm around the shin, great. If you can tuck the elbow behind, a little more advanced, but you got it. Awesome. Now from here, inhale, right arm really tall. Lengthen the chest up, and then exhale, rotate a little more, take the hand behind you. As the hand comes to the floor, just again, inhale, think elevate. My head is above my tailbone. I'm getting taller. My exhale takes my heart a little more open here to the right. You might look back, you might keep your gaze very neutral. Just take a couple more. In the nose, out the nose. Awesome. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Let's make our way slowly to center. Keep the legs if you can. So untwist your spine facing forward. And we're going to make our way to our version of Gomukhasana, cow face pose. So if you have legs like him right now where both of them are bent, all you're going to do is take that right foot with your left hand, pull the foot back. So both of your knees are going to lay on top of each other. If this is like feeling impossible, really, really uncomfortable, we want to take our bottom leg and stretch it in front of you, straightening it out all the way. Now, both are awesome. Sometimes the ego is like, you have to do the hard one. You don't have to do the hard one, okay? So keep the bones rooted on the mat, but lift your chest out of them. Inhale. You can hold the feet. You can hold the knees. On your exhale, maybe fingers to floor and just tiptoe. Again, looking forward is going to help you lengthen as you fold. And just be here for a few breaths. If you're feeling this in the outer glutes, the outer hips, you're doing it right. Those are good places to feel this. And maybe even the head relaxes down. You can look forward, but really try to let the neck be pretty chill here. Good. Just 2 more breaths on this side. Full breath into the outer hips. Exhale, release some of that tension out. Sort of surrender your weight. One more time. Inhale. And big exhale. Awesome job. Rising from the back of the heart. Take your time. You can take your hands behind you on the floor even, so you can unravel your legs all the way. Maybe shake them out, right? Just kind of feel it. Yeah, windshield wiper, the knees back and forth. Good stuff. Let's take both legs straight for a moment, so we're coming into this the same way we did on the other side. And then just bend your left knee and pull that knee in. Ah. Love it. Yeah, you're listening to me technically. All right, so knee points up on this. We're going to hold that shin, lift the chest real tall, shoulders down, and just keep this as you exhale. Stay if you want, or pick up that left foot and cross it over into a layer 2. You can stay at layer 1, all right? So staying here in layer 2, perhaps the foot grounds, the chest lifts, we're holding on, and we're exhaling here. Layer 3, if you want to, we're bending the right knee and sliding that foot in. Let the hands help, right? Pull the foot into the opposite hip. Feel that. Keep that left knee pointing up, though. All right, now holding onto that knee with your right hand, right arm. Inhale, take your left arm, reach up. And then exhale, twist open to the left side. Take that hand behind you. Awesome. If you want to go a little deeper, you can, again, reach the right arm higher and then cross over a little deeper if you prefer. When I'm here, I do a couple of those just to kind of feel it with my breath. It's not necessarily a one time and you're done, right? Every inhale, we get a little taller somehow, some way, somewhere. Every exhale, maybe that left shoulder is just rotating a little further back. It's guiding the rotation. And then just 3 more breaths. In the nose. Exhale. And just looking back if you wish, although sometimes that doesn't feel right. Looking forward is also great. Last 2. And one more time. Okay. Come back slowly. We're going to keep the legs pretty similar, though, to whatever you have right now. If you have his expression, you're not going too far at all. We're going to take that top foot, pull it back toward your right hip, and try to lay that left knee on top of the right knee. It might not feel like it moved very much, and that's okay. If this feels like a nightmare, if this is way too intense for you, take your bottom leg and stretch it forward. Okay, so awesome. Left thigh is resting on top. We're going to get real tall again. Inhale, reaching up with the arms, maybe. Or keeping hands on lap, keeping hands on the feet. Exhale, slowly bring fingers to the floor. Look forward and then tiptoe those fingers as far as you can forward. When you feel this a lot in the outer glutes, you're perfect there. Just keep that breath going straight to that space. Exhaling to rest the shoulders, rest the facial muscles, and even rest your hips, especially if it feels kind of hard to do that. So we've done a lot of the efforting so far in this class. The rest of the class, for the most part, is more passive. It's more lunar. So don't worry about activating, squeezing, intensifying, strengthening from here on out. We're going to more so just melt into the shapes. We're here for our last 2 breaths. When you're ready, let the back of the heart slowly pull you up. Take as much time as you need to come out of here. Awesome. Unravel your legs forward one at a time. Shake them out. Maybe bring your hands back and lean back, like whatever you got to do. And then we're going to end up laying on the back. You're welcome to go into boat pose on the way, elevating the chest, lifting the feet, and just feeling very active in the core. Stay here as long as you want. You can do many different drills here as well if that's where you want to do today. When you're ready, we're going to lay all the way down nice and slowly. And once we're there, reach all the way back with the arms. Lengthen from fingers to toes. Find at least just 1 breath here. And then big exhale, sweeping the knees into the chest. Big squeeze. Feel free to do 2 more of those, just like we did in the beginning. Inhale, lengthen from both ends as far as you can. Exhale, big sweep of the arms. Pull it all in, nice and tight. 1 more time. Inhale. Big exhale. Good. Keep the knees in your chest. Lower your head to the ground and just pause here. Maybe rock a little side to side. Just feel your back. Feel your glutes. Awesome. Keeping the feet relatively close to your hips. Just lower them all the way to the ground. Hip distance apart, which is more narrow than most people think. Think inner hips. Awesome. Take your hands down next to the outer hips. Palms face the ground, tuck in your shoulders. Breathe in. Exhale and lift the hips just a little bit at a time into bridge. So now we're going to go through a couple layers here, and then we're twisting, and then we're relaxing. It's the end of class. So while we're here, if you want to take it easy for the rest of class, put a block under your hips in case you're feeling that. I'll give you one. Block under hips, 2 blocks if you want to go higher and your low back is happy. Or stay here, but keep your inner thighs active so they don't stick out. Awesome. Maybe bind your hands, right? We have different flavors of this pose we can play with. Just make sure it's serving you. You can breathe here, and it feels good. So this is a great preparation for perhaps wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana, if you wish to find that pose. No pressure. How are you feeling? You feeling like it?
Let's try it.
Okay, let's try it. I like his attitude. Okay, take your hands. We're going to first lower the hips all the way down. We'll start there. Then hands, go by the ears, placing the thumbs toward the sides of your head so they're just touching those ears. Point your middle fingers in the direction of your toes. Now before lifting, hug your arms in so the elbows are about shoulder distance apart. That's hard for a lot of people, but try. Now activate your feet, activate your fingertips, your core, and on an exhale, so exhale on the effort, we're going to push into all 4 limbs and try to lift the belly up. Very little weight in the head, if any. And then once you're up, reach your chest forward through the arms and your tailbone toward the legs. Really trying to lengthen the low back here. Cool. When you are ready to come down, no worry about coming down too soon or too late. Just listen to your body. Hug your elbows in as you come down, tucking the chin, lower from shoulders, 1 vertebra at a time, all the way back down. Really good job. Whew. And then my favorite way to come out of that and to contrast, right, is to bring the knees into the chest. For you, it might be another bridge. It might be just flat feet and resting. So really complement what you're feeling with a very simple pose after that. Perfect. Rotating a little in the hips if need be. Last thing we're doing here is a twist and shavasana. So hug the right knee into the chest. Left leg goes long down the mat. Inhale here, and then reach the right arm out to the right side. Exhale, slowly carry that right knee over to the left side. You might might even tuck your left hip under to get a nice grounded feeling here. Option to gaze down the right arm or just look up to the ceiling. That's perfectly fine. We're here for 4 breaths. The best thing you can do here is breathe deep into your belly and then empty your belly as best you can with each exhale. Good, 2 more. And then we'll come back. Nice inhalation takes us out of our twist slowly. Exhale both knees in the chest. Any movements here that feel awesome, take them. Eventually, last side, we take our right foot down and forward to the mat. Left arm out to the side. Exhale, and slowly carry left knee over to the right. Don't worry about how far you're getting. Just make sure it feels right. Tucking that left hip or right hip under if you need to. Maybe looking down the left arm. And then full belly. Breathing up into the chest. Exhale all the way back down again until you're empty in your lungs. Let's do 3 more. Great, coming on back to center. Nice big inhale on the way. And then exhale last time, knees in chest, preparing to rest your body here in Shavasana. So as always, rest in your favorite way. If you want to put props under your knees, maybe a blanket over your body, an eye pillow over your eyes, like whatever helps you get comfortable, let it be very personal. Maybe involve some oils, some music. You can shut off this video, right? I want you to rest for at least 3 whole minutes. So to get to that nice restful state, I want you to first just close the eyes. Once you're comfortable, check in with your whole body and just scan from your toes to the top of your head and see if there's anything that is still holding on to energy. Anything that's contracting or activating. Check the little tiny areas, like in between your eyebrows, around your mouth, around your eyes. Even your breath. Are you still making a lot of sound with your breath? A lot of activation in the throat? Instead, just drop that. Let it go. Let your body breathe for you. And as you rest here for 3 minutes or so, keep focusing on how relaxed each part of your body is. When you feel ready to come out, take your time gradually reintroducing movement and breath into your body. Take a moment to notice what you're thankful for, what you appreciate today. Great job, you guys. Namaste.